Yeah, I want to invite you to something glamorous. What's next? I'm inspired by
Burn my tape and try and hate my credibility, but Jake is getting paid for his amazing versatility.
You are now watching Glam TV with your host, Miss Jones. Jake, welcome to Glam TV.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I feel like we have so much to talk about, but I have two preliminary questions that I want to get out the way first.
Sure, absolutely.
So, name two MCs that have inspired you to do hip-hop.
The two MCs that most inspired me from a rhyming perspective would have to be Sticky Fingers from Onyx.
Way back.
That's taking it back to when I was a youngin', but you know, Sticky was just utterly insane, and they would always save him for the last verse because you know, you never knew what that guy was gonna say. So definitely his you know, kind of intensity appealed to me, and beyond that, I would say Cool Keith.
So who's killing it in the game for you? Two MCs.
Right now.
Right now.
My favorite rapper of the moment, I was fortunate enough to get to work with him about a year ago. It's probably Rock Marciano.
Okay.
I think Rock Marciano is killing it. He's got just the craziest slang. Similar to like a Ghostface Killer. Like, you don't always understand what he's talking about, but it just sounds so great. I would say Rock Marciano, and I like what Action Bronson is doing right now.
Yeah, he's actually really killing it.
I like what
He
Action
got,
Bronson's doing.
A very different flow, but I feel like it's still hip-hop at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and I like the fact that, you know, he kind of made the mainstream come to him.
Definitely.
You know, so that's, you know, to me that always works better, make them come to you. So.
All right, so we got that out the way. As an MC, you've pretty much been in this game for a really long time.
10 years at this point.
10 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much you were raised in Tennessee, came to Brooklyn, now you're here. So talk about pretty much your growth that you've been seeing in yourself.
You know, it literally started in my bedroom, you know, 10 years ago in Tennessee. You know, there was no record labels there to sign you, you know, so you had no real, like, living in New York, you can literally walk to 42nd Street and go to Def Jam and try and talk to somebody. You don't have that where I grew up. So that kind of forced me into the independent blueprint. You know, if you don't have any resources, you have to make them for yourself. So, you know, kind of from the get-go, I always had it in my mind that I wanted to be independent. I wanted to have my own label. I wanted to have, you know, not to say that my music is like strange or bizarre, but, you know, it's not pop music necessarily. So I always felt like, you know, maybe a major label wouldn't know what to do with it. So, you know, I moved to New York in 2006 with $75 to my name, and, you know, one brick at a time, literally, you know, kind of built everything up from there.
So you just had another milestone in your career, a great accomplishment. The Cypher Effect came out here from LA to exclusively shoot with you and your artist here at Space Lab Recording. So how amazing was that?
It felt great. You know, the Cypher Effect has built up quite a following, especially on the West Coast, you know, where we get a lot of love when we go out there to perform too. Like, I love the West Coast. But they contacted us in February. The video just came out about a week ago, but it's funny, in the video you can see we're wearing hoodies and Scullies and Timbs, because it was freezing outside when we taped it. But no, it was really good. We had the whole Space Lab crew. We had myself, Jake Palumbo, we had Caesar Van Gogh, we had Cypherface, we had Gotham Heights, the group, which is Mo Kafuma, Ed Ward, and Mike Notes. And, you know, we were in here just setting microphones on fire for, you know, an hour or two, and they taped it and put out the cream of the crop. I'm very happy with the internet reaction it's got just in the short time it's been out. So, yeah, shout out to the Cypher Effect for flying literally across the country to come put us on their channel.
So outside of rapping, you also own Space Lab Recordings. So how did that come about?
It came about when I first moved to New York. I wanted to become an engineer for two reasons. One, because I wanted to be able to make my own music and production sound better. But also B, you know, it takes a long time to really get established enough as an artist to get some income coming in. So as an engineer, I could actually make a living that way in the meantime. So initially, when I moved to New York, I got an internship at a studio, which led to me getting a job managing another studio. And, 5 years into that, I built up enough clientele. I felt like, it was time I could actually venture off on my own. Because my goal before I ever wanted to be a musician or anything like that was to work for myself. I never wanted to, I always wanted to put my effort into my dream, instead of somebody else's. So I opened Space Lab Recordings as a studio 3.5 years ago, and it's been great ever since. We've been able to establish a name for ourselves, not just with, some of the legends in the game, but with the up-and-comers of tomorrow. We're able to provide them good quality recording, that's competitive with what's out there, at a price that's not going to bankrupt them. Because I know, coming from being an artist, when you're funding everything out of pocket, it is so expensive. So, we kind of try to be the middle ground in between, the studios that provide the best quality and, the studios that people can afford.
Oh yeah, I think you love me though. Oh yeah, know how we do it, know who keep it the truest. Gotta love all media and music squared. Yeah, you love me though. Like that?
You'll find your chill.